Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a new stream. Today it's Thursday, the 6th of November, 2025. We're getting close to the end of the year, but we still have a few weeks left. Welcome, guys. Don't forget to strap in, hit the like button on the way in, and get ready for a stream today. And I want to talk about so many things. I want to talk, of course, about Bitcoin going below $100,000 this week, but also, again, above it once more. And I might want to admit I might have made a mistake. But more about that, guys, later in the stream. First and foremost, welcome. I see Sky Blue, I see Pete, I see Björn, Sanjay as always. Hi. Niels as well. Quickly, guys, public announcement here, or public announcement. Two things. So, if you can't get enough of, well, the Coin Baron content, I got some good news for you, and also an opportunity to start debating with me, discussing. So what we have now is something new on X. We call those spaces. Those are basically open mic podcast, I would say. It's the CRO Connect space happening every Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. UTC. So about 5 hours ago from this exact moment. Every Monday through Friday, so tomorrow again, we're going to discuss something happening in the world. For example, today we're discussing about a major announcement by Trump. It appeared to be something about medical health. Anyways, it's going to be Cronos focused and, of course, always respectful. So if you can't respect the space, unfortunately, you will get booted. That's something you might want to be aware of. Something else. We're going next week, Thursday, there won't be any midweek update, because we will be at Bitcoin Amsterdam. And not only me, I think so far about 20 other members of the CRO fam are joining. And we also have a keynote by crypto.com. So it's going to be very exciting, guys, all happening in Amsterdam. We're going to drink some beers there, have some fun, have a lunch, eat something, I don't know exactly what. If you're also wanting to come by, don't forget to join our Discord. And we also have a special Telegram with also somebody from crypto.com in there specifically for that event. So only join if you want to come to Amsterdam. Otherwise, well, nothing. So meet up, and also the daily Twitter Spaces CRO Connect. So that's the... I think that's it. Those are the public service announcements. Welcome, guys. Didn't watch the tutorial for X Spaces by now. I learned a thing or two. Welcome, Luca. Good to see you. V8 Freak also welcome. Okay, so are we on a bear market, or did it just got extended till Q4 2026? I don't know why Q4 2026. Are we in a bear market? Nobody truly knows. The only one capable of predicting the future so far has been the 8-ball, and the 8-ball is saying no. This is not actually yet a bear market. And I want to show you that here with Bitcoin. What happened today is, I think, a great sign. It's a great sign. Bitcoin went below $100,000. That was ouch. But let's be very honest. Bitcoin was below $100,000. How long? A few minutes, like 10 minutes here and here. It bounced up so quickly. And today, again, it shows the bears are wanting to make another attempt at breaking through $100,000. It couldn't even get close. We're not completely out of the woods yet. And I could even make the argument that we might be dumping a little bit more. Just a little tad bit more before we're completely out of the woods. However, we talked about this. We talked about this on Twitter. And let me quickly show you my tweet about that. I was talking specifically about two levels. 97.5k for Bitcoin. 97.5 and 11 cents. And 11 cents. And where are we now? Where's the tweet? I tweet too much. By the way, I also got a new handle. It's at Coin Baron. At Coin Baron. Here it is. No, it's not this one. We're almost there, guys. Almost there. Almost. I should be tweeting less, making more videos. I think I scrolled past it now at this point. October 15th it was. Ah, here it is. Okay. Here it is. And now Twitter is gone. Ah, come on. Like, the technical issues always come back to bite me in the ass. Let's refresh. Let's refresh. Welcome, guys. Okay, on October 15th, like basically a month ago, I tweeted about 19.7k for Bitcoin and 11 cents for CRO. CRO went to 11.2 cents. CRO went to 11.2 cents. Bitcoin went to 98.5-ish. So, is that close enough? I don't know. This is a tweet. We're talking about exactly this, and this is playing out perfectly now. We went to about 97, about just the VPRV zone is not exactly like 97. It's an approximation. It's a zone. You can see also it's a big box. I could make the argument that Bitcoin hit this exact box. So that's bullish. Just below $100,000, it hit the volume profile levels and it bounced off. So that's the first thing. That was correct. The max pain scenario is playing out. Then the second thing we were talking about is that Bitcoin probably will be struggling at about this zone here, at about 103, 104, 102. And why is that? The 50-week, guys. The 50-week simple moving average. If we can beat this, this is the most important thing, guys. If we can beat this, it can be actually quite good for Bitcoin. Let me quickly show you that. So on the weekly, what we're looking for... Whoa, hello, good morning. On the weekly, we are looking for the 50-week, which is this orange line. And the week is still moving, so yes, we're below it now. But what truly matters is where are we on Sunday? So the weekly close this Sunday will be very important, guys. We will be streaming, of course, 9 p.m. Amsterdam time as always on Sunday as well. If we can close above this level, that's a bullish thing. And why is that a bullish thing? Typically, in a bull market, we do see drawdowns of about minus 30%. 20 to 30%. I've already talked about this in the video, but this was about minus 26, the first test here of the 50-week. The second one was minus 30%. Test here of the 50-week. Are we now seeing an exact same setup here? Test of the 50-week. You can see we also went below it, right? You can see small wick below. But we ended the week above it. Same thing also here. Wick below, ended above. So if tomorrow or Saturday or Sunday we'll see a good pump, that would be a great sign. Today also we quickly went above it as well. So this is potentially a great sign. We do need some strength now, though. These are key moments because it can be lost. If we go below it, then we might see something similar to 2021. Because yes, of course, we can go below the 50 week. Here, we started teetering below it. And then we were lost. So this, guys, are going to be an important close. If we're going to close just below it, like 103 or whatever, I think it's still fine. Then we have to watch the second week. But overall, I'm not really scared. Today, we got a new news article by JP Morgan. JP Morgan, big institution. They're still confident that Bitcoin will go to about 170. 170 in 2026. According to JP Morgan, right? So that's not me, not the coin baron. JP Morgan is strapping in for the bull market. I might be looking that tweet up later today. And then we also have, in general, the expectations of Bitcoin. So this cycle, guys, has not been great regarding return on investments. Well, I mean, peak to peak. Let me quickly show what I mean. For Bitcoin specifically, The last time we peaked for Bitcoin, that was at about 60, 69-ish. So from that point onwards, we went up about 88% only, peak to peak. 88%. Sounds like a lot. In traditional stock market, it's quite a lot, 88% more. But the previous peak in 2017 was at about 20,000. So then we had an increase of about 288%. I do see that we have diminishing returns. Of course, we do have the market cap is increasing. Therefore, it's harder to keep pumping in more and more money. However, just a 2x, not even a 2x, right? Because a 2x would be about 140-ish, about 140. That's why I'm not really scared, right? Because I think fundamentally, the environment for crypto has never been more bullish than now. We have actual spot ETFs. We have treasury companies. We have good legislation. This is the period for expansion. Also, macroeconomics are getting better and better. And also important to note that since 2020, we have seen mass inflation. Mass inflation. So the $70,000 from 2021 or 69, I think at this moment that would be about 80-ish or 75, just based on inflation. So if you also reduce the inflation aspect of Bitcoin, it's crazy, guys. Money is being printed in an insane rate. An absolutely insane rate. So I cannot fathom that this is it for Bitcoin. Time in the cycle would say yes, it could be the top. But indicators, fundamentals, and also, you know, for me, my gut, and also the A-ball, by the way, also the A-ball, they don't agree with this being the top. So I think another typical minus 30% bounce. My take, of course, you can't take it to the bank. We didn't have that many similar touches in 2021. We did have many breakdowns. You can see that we went down here about minus 30%. Also here, that was minus 20% only. Not a breakdown here, minus 33%. And this one was big, minus 50%. If we go minus 50%, I don't know if we can continue the bull market. That's my honest take here. Well, let's see. Hey, CBR, welcome. Your thoughts on CRO? Will it ever go back to 35 cents? Of course. That's my take, eh? No financial advice, but otherwise, I wouldn't be here, Mr. CBR. I would have made a video, one video, telling you guys like, hey, guys, I've sold. I think it's over now. Make sure you don't lose your money. Keep it safe. Maybe have a little back, but, you know, keep it safe. This is not my conviction. Like, I am very true to my word. If things are going to change, I will also share that with you guys. But I'm not going to play like I'm bullish. I have nothing to win with that. Nothing. Nothing to win. Only to lose, right? Only to lose. I'm still in I'm like, if I truly believe this is going to be the beginning of the bear market, I can still sell now. I'm still in profit with CRO. But I haven't sold a single thing yet. I haven't sold a single thing yet. Lucas thinking that the alt season could happen like at the start of 2026. When we see the interest rate cut. Well, I also have a theory there. I have a theory there as well, Luca Maggi. This is my theory. This is my theory. This is the Bitcoin dominance chart. And on the Bitcoin dominance chart, I have created this pennant here, this pennant structure. It's pointing upwards. Typically, when we see a pennant going upward, we expect a downwards fall. That's also why this arrow is here. And it would be very similar to 2021. You can see we have a peak at about also, well, a bit lower, of course. Also here, diminishing returns. Same also here. We started at a higher point, but okay, I think it's fine. We have here the altcoin or Bitcoin dominance peak. Then we have a bit of consolidation. And then we move down again. My personal take here is that this might have been the peak. And why is that? Well, I think that where we are now, we're just, let's say we're close like this. This was what I've been talking about in many videos now. This line, it does fit nicely also with the end of this bull pennant, or this, well, pennant pointing upwards. But it also corresponds with resistance. You can see here, not resistance, support here. It stopped here a few times, and also support here and resistance. So 60.4 I think would be the perfect start of a downward momentum now for Bitcoin dominance, meaning altcoin season. I'm not entirely sure, of course, but I think there is quite an opportunity here. November is typically a period where altcoins outperform Bitcoin. This is still my main take. That altcoin season literally could start tomorrow. Or well, let's wait for this week to close, and then after this week, we might see a start of it. I might be wrong, of course, but I at least have the balls to talk about my conviction here. And it can go hard, right? Once it breaks, you can see typically like a big minus 3% candle. Something like here also happened. Let's see. An ascending wedge, that's the one. I went to a football game yesterday, Pete, so I'm still a bit tired. Like those Champions League games, those last till... I don't know exactly. I think they last till like 11 o'clock. Quite late. Always trust the A-ball, guys. Oh, John. I guess it's over, guys. People are so negative. I would say one thing about that, guys. Yes, the fear and greed is very high now. Very high. Let me show you CoinMarketCap quickly here. Extreme fear. Extreme fear, right? 24, very low value. It was only lower after the tariff dumps. But what happened with the Bitcoin price afterwards? You can see, right? After it went from... Oh, yeah, hard to see. But you can see that after the extreme fear, it started moving up again. Can we go a bit lower? There's still time for that, but if I take a look at this chart, what happened today? It's quite a good sign so far. Quite a good sign so far. Let's see though. I might still be wrong, of course, guys. So don't take my words to the bank here. Please do not. How's live? Don't forget to hit the like button, by the way. I know that Pete is a bit more bearish. Pete might think... I think he's at about 90k. There is still a CME gap. You can find CME gaps here at about 92k. In a previous tweet, I talked about closing all these CME gaps, and we did. We closed all the CME gaps except for this one over here. So a CME gap occurs, guys, when the stock market closes. So therefore, people cannot buy Bitcoin ETFs anymore. You cannot buy Bitcoin ETFs anymore. So then there is like this little gap happening where people last bought Bitcoin and when they started buying Bitcoin in the week coming after. And what happens often, it's a strange phenomenon, is that we revisit those CME gaps. But normally those happen within the first 3 weeks of it occurring. Well, it has been more than 3 months already, so I don't think it's necessarily needed that we are going to revisit it right now. At some point we will. At some point we will revisit 92 in the bear market. I think Bitcoin will go down to 70k. Maybe even 60. Maybe even 50. I would say slowly start buying back in Bitcoin at about starting 70. Last buy orders at about 50. Let's see. Skyblue, welcome. So November hasn't started off great, but you never know. Could still turn around. Exactly. I agree there. Also, if you take a look at Cronos. Cronos also doesn't have the best track record, you know, starting the month of November. I think here you can see it quite well. We go to the daily. Here we started November in the red, but then we started going upwards on the 6th. So exactly, guys, 1 year ago, CRO started with the upward move. Exactly 1 year ago, we got the roadmap, we got the AMA with Chris, we got the burn announcement. Also here, also November 2023. Oh, actually, November 2023 was only good. This was only green. We're gonna talk, by the way, also about a mistake. Let's talk about my mistake here, or potential mistake. I don't know yet. So in many videos, I've been talking about this overlay here because so far it has been fitting quite nicely. It has been fitting quite nicely. However, we started deviating hugely of this exact pattern here. You can see that I expected it to go up and instead we went down. That's quite a big deviation, about minus 30%. Big ouch. At this point, I expected us to be at about 20 based on the fractal, right? But again, history doesn't really rhyme or repeat. But then I was looking really at the setup here. This setup kind of reminded me of something else we've been talking about. The Christmas tree setup for gold. The gold Christmas tree setup. You can see a bit better here on the daily. But my belief is that gold will retrace back down to about these levels here. So I expect it to create this nice Christmas tree top. You can see a truly parabolic blow off. And then we start going down again until we find support here or potentially a bit lower even here. But so far we might continue down this Christmas tree setup. Without the lights, without the balls, just a plain old Christmas tree here. Basically, CRO did the same thing. CRO already completed the Christmas tree. So I started thinking, wait a minute. I've seen this before. I've seen this before a lot. And it goes back to the wave theory. Let me remove this quickly, because basically it goes about this. We go up, CRO goes down. CRO goes up, CRO goes down. CRO goes up, CRO goes down. And that's quite interesting because what we have seen so far is that from the top to the low, we're currently down minus 70%. Minus 70% here. Do you know that that also occurred exactly here? I would say that both these cycles are very much alike. Both have seen multiple waves. And this is the third wave here, guys. And the third wave here also went down quite significantly. How much exactly? Well, from the peak to the low, exactly minus 70%. Exactly. So basically, we have now completed the third wave. And the fun thing is, so what I did, I made an overlay of this one, of this exact wave here, the third wave. And it fits so beautifully. It fits so beautifully, guys, on what we have just seen. So my thinking now, I have to go to the weekly, by the way, then you see it a bit better. My thinking now is that I might have made a mistake here. So my previous assumption has been that for this overlay here is that we were basically following... wait. My My previous overlay was based on that we have already completed the third wave. But I think at this point it's more likely that we have just finished the third wave and therefore we're now starting with this overlay instead of the other one. It would make a lot more sense, and also I think time in the cycle wise, it's also a possibility. It fits just so well. The only scary thing about this overlay, and of course, guys, this is not all. Also, I might make a mistake here, right? I might make a mistake here, but the overlay so far fits perfect. It fits a lot better than the other one. It fits a lot better than the other one. It went up parabolically, and then we also went down. So what I like about this one though is that it shows that we are going down quite significantly, but then we also do go up again. But finally, a few weeks later, we still go down almost to the low of the logarithmic rainbow chart again. So this is a scenario I'm actually taking really seriously, that we are going to see in the upcoming weeks a great bounce. Let's say that Bitcoin goes back maybe to 116 and everybody's like, yeah, okay, we're back, guys. We're so back. Bitcoin is back in action, right? If Bitcoin goes back to 116, everybody would be so euphoric. And then they're going to do the switcheroo. Then they're like, no, 116, let's dump it again. Like pure market manipulation, right? That could be the case. That could bring then also CRO in this scenario down again to about the 11-cent range. I don't know again if this will all play out. Maybe we have seen the lows already. Like the thickness of the candle is basically there, exactly there. You can see here and here. It's basically the same. But that would be I think this overlay is really interesting, and it would also fit with the 4-cycle narrative. Anyways, that was my rambling, guys. That was my rambling. Snake Eyes, welcome. After a post on X, V8 Freak is asking, I'm also curious about the CRO futures with the Trump partnership. The CRO futures? The CRO ETF, you mean? It's still waiting on the approval by the SEC. Peter saying, I still stand by what I've said in the comments on recent videos. I think we might see a drop towards perhaps 85, 90-ish. It's not a massive drop from where we are, but it would suck up a lot of liquidity. What I like about your take is that it does complete like the typical minus 30% drop. So far, we've seen only about 21. So if you go down all the way to 90-ish, then we have completed the minus 30%. So that would make sense, I would say, if we're going to complete that. But I think also it would have to be a very quick wick down, or like a really quick wick, because we need to close again above the 50-week. Otherwise, we will completely lose all the support, all the momentum. Happy to be proved wrong. I would love to be proved wrong about my previous overlay. I still hope it might magically kick back up again, because it started so well. But in hindsight, I think it was the wrong call. Teddy asking, where's the Christmas tree? We voted and we said yes. I actually have been looking for it, but Teddy, they don't sell them yet. I'm still waiting. I don't have like a fake one. I don't have a fake Christmas tree. I need to wait for the real one to pop up. I do have the lights already, so it is coming. Cheesy bro, I thought history does rhyme. Yeah, it does rhyme, of course. But you have to choose the right history, I guess. And I hate it. I think I made a mistake here, and I hate to, maybe of course, I always mention no financial advice, but I do know that some people, kind of look up to me or something like that. I don't know why, but, I'm a big Cronos brother. And I made a mistake here, and I think I need to own up to it. I think I will make a dedicated video for this, but yeah, it's a shame. Blaze, welcome. What do you think about the 4-year cycle at this point? I made a video about it not that long ago, Blaze. I would say check it out. I would say time-wise, we are getting very close. Very close to it. Okay, Bitcoin is now approaching again 101. I would like to see that Bitcoin is holding on to about 100,000, guys. That's what we are waiting for, though. We need some more, how did you say that? Confirmation of 100,000 being the absolute bottom here. So regarding 88k, the simplest thesis I have regarding Bitcoin, if you take a look at the monthly charts and include the Bollinger Bands, we look like we're heading back to test the mid band. Interesting. Keegan, it only takes some good news to moon. I do completely agree with that narrative here, Keegan. I entirely agree with this thing here. I want to show you something that maybe can show the point also that Keegan is making, because have you guys seen this website already? Like this one over here. I didn't even know that they had like an actual counter. This counter kind of reminds me of 24. I don't know if you guys know 24. It's an old series with Jack Bauer, and he had to save the world basically in exactly 24 hours. And the cool thing is, typically when we see a movie, it's like the time is not exactly following the real life time. In 24, they had exactly 24 episodes of about an hour, with actual travel also taking place about in 24 hours. So if you started with a car drive of about an hour, only in the next episode they would, you know, arrive at the destination. But that's not another point really. So we are now in a record-long government shutdown, and this is starting to affect the actual economy. It is starting to affect the actual economy, guys. We see that people working, for example, at air control, they're not doing their work as good anymore. It's actually hurting the how do you say that? The airport logistics. So this is an issue there. But right now the pressure is building. Like, hey, it's already been 36 days. It's hurting the economy now. I like how they say the Democrats have shut down the government. Of course, guys, it's both sides. It's not only the Democrats. It's together. It's the government in total. But yeah, I get it. It's of course currently ruled by the Republicans. So I guess it's good that they have to blame somebody. We want to have a festive coin baron. Not yet. When they start selling Christmas trees, I will get them. Can you already buy Christmas trees at your place, guys? We just had Halloween. Hey, welcome, Stacy. So Bjorn is asking with a new overlay, would that mean we'll be far into 2026? Yes, but I would still say within a reasonable time frame. So I'll go back to my new overlay. Oh, Bitcoin is now below 101. Again, we are now watching the cliffs, guys. I think, let's see. The last time we dropped, we went to about 103, 100,300. If we, like best case, we have a retest here and we go back up again. Best case. Or I would also don't mind a higher low now. We can create a higher low here. That's a bit the question. So far, we've seen basically also a double bottom here. I would like to see that. We can actually build like a bit of a staircase now. But regarding the overlay, so I don't know, of course, if this is like going to play out. It's a teaser so far. But if it's going to follow, and by the way, doesn't include, it does include the wicks. No, it doesn't include the complete wicks. Anyway, so don't expect, I think we miss a bit of the top here, but time-wise, it's pretty much okay. If it's going to play out, then we might see a bottom occur middle of December and a top in about May of 2026. Oh no, wait, I made a mistake here. Yeah, the beginning of May. But of course, there's no absolute science. It's definitely no absolute science. It can go a bit earlier, a bit later. This is though, I think, currently quite a decent chance that we might replicate something like this. The fourth wave. And also, I don't know, Star Fox talking about the government. Yeah, so what we also see is that in about this point in time, we also kind of start to expect the QE. So you might have heard the news. In December 1st, we'll have the end of quantitative tightening. Typically, it can take about half a year, 4 to 5 months, before we see actual QE starting, so quantitative easing. If that's going to play out, of course, we have a government shutdown, so we have no statistical data. Also an issue. But yeah, it could be that we start money printing again at about, you know, let's say March, and then we have like the actual blow off top appearing exactly when we see QE start, like over here. Well, macroeconomically wise, I think it would make sense also. At about this point, I expect the Treasury company to be live. I expect the ETFs to be live. So fundamentally, it would make sense. Only not with the 4-year cycle in mind. However, even before we topped, Raoul Powell already made the argument we're now in a 5-year cycle and not a 4-year cycle. Let's see. Any thoughts on Mary? They disappointed me with Halloween. I expected a big push with Halloween, but nothing happened. No trick or treat Mary tokens, unfortunately. The new chart had to adjust for a leap year. Was it a leap year? I don't know. It's maybe we have one 5-year cycle for once to adjust to the new moon, the new lunar cycle. Nobody's perfect, and we're all entitled to be wrong on stuff. I always caveat my own comments to say that I could easily be wrong in what I see. That's the thing, right? Nobody is exactly, you know, spot on with things. But we do our best. Definitely do our best now. Let's see, guys. We're watching the cliffs now with Bitcoin also. Bitcoin is... Uh-oh. I need to... So, I know the issue. I need to update my BIOS, my motherboard. I'm just too lazy. I need to get like a USB stick. Sorry. Can somebody please confirm we're back? Welcome back. Are we back? We're back! Yay! Thank you guys so much for sticking here. It's an issue. Yeah, it's a typical technical stuff, you know. The only thing, guys, I did lose all my chat here. So Devin, I would recommend to just go back a bit. We are probably talking about the about it in a new video though, but I think I made a mistake regarding the overlay. We've been talking about this here, this overlay, but I think it might be wrong because we have completed so far almost the Christmas tree setup. And this is the perfect Christmas tree setup for gold here, but also for Crow. We have basically completed the whole wave. So I don't know. I think this yeah, it might be off now at this point, and I think I need to, well, we need to, I think, go to the correct overlay now. I was seeing a few different questions, so guys, let me quickly get the chat up and running again. While we're waiting though, let's see what Bitcoin is doing. Bitcoin is at about 100,800. Interesting. Can we even go to the minute charts? Why not? Let's see what Bitcoin will do today. Only 30 likes? Guys, do me a favor, please hit the like button while I'm also getting the chat back. This is interesting though. It could be, guys, a perfect W setup for a quick trade here. You can see if we create a double bottom, like if we can confirm like a touch here, then we start moving up, it would be great. But of course, we have no certainties here. We can also break below it easily. So you cannot basically start buying now. You have to really wait for bounce confirmation. And I would, if I, this is a bit of trading advice, but I don't do trading advice, of course. But if I were to give you an advice, I would say wait until we hit this back here. Because basically, if we make the bounce, and we are about here, it's a very slim chance that we're gonna just stop. Typically, we're going to complete the W. So this is typically why you make the trade. You don't make the trade here. This is really risky. You make it over here. You make it over here. For anyone just joining, by the way, we're also heading to Bitcoin Amsterdam next week. Watching the Bitcoin chart now, but Bitcoin Amsterdam is happening. We have about 20 other CRO fan members joining. So if you still want to come to Amsterdam, you live close to Amsterdam. We have people even taking some flights to Amsterdam. Join the group, join the Discord. We also have a Telegram group now, and we're going to prepare everything for, you know, the beers, the I don't know. I think also some merch. So stay tuned for that one. Okay, there we go. Bitcoin, guys, is now finally making that ascent, it seems. Yeah, at this point, I think it makes sense that we need to drop a bit further. Just a little bit further. Hey, Dayton, welcome. On a serious note, though, Coinberry, you would do yourself a big favor of fixing the tech issues. Yeah, I had a different issue just back then, Mr. Pete, because we had the issue that my complete OBS froze. So the issue was not really with the cam this time; it was a different issue. I guess everyone is how do you say that? Refreshing. Robert, welcome. How's life? Teddy's still here. Safoni, greetings from Italy. Sci-fi. Hi, Coin Baron. Selling 90% of my CRO and buying Atom was a big mistake. Atom went down to about $2.50. Ouch. I would say, you know, CRO and Atom are very much related because Cronos chain is running upon the Atom layer, but still it's quite crazy. Coin Baron, welcome, Shep. I think I remember Crypto.com said they were going to plug DeFi into their Blue app. Do you think they will actually increase the CRO price and chain activity? Yes, that's actually a good topic we can talk about it, Shep. Welcome. Thanks for asking. So, it's actually dropping quite harsh now. Interesting. CRO is still above 12 cents. CRO is holding on quite well, while Bitcoin is approaching like the 100k level. So no big panic yet for CRO. I like to see that though. I really like to see that we have not that much panic in the markets anymore. But yeah, the topic at hand was the question by Shap. And yes, they're going to integrate Cronos dApps in the Crypto.com app. And that has to actually increase the activity on the overall chain. And I think it's a very good thing. Will it also change the price? And my belief is yes. And why do I say yes here? I do believe that we will see price change as well, because they're working now on a burning mechanism for the CRO token that will also include chain activity. So more chain activity would mean more CRO burns, and therefore potentially also more CRO supply reduction. Then, with less supply, the price should be higher to get to a price equilibrium. But that's of course no given yet. The burn formula has not been communicated yet. And also exactly when and what kind of dApps we can expect is also not yet sure. What it also will help with though is the overall statistics. So some dApp developers might take a look at certain chains that are basically looking for like volume. Volume is definitely important for builders, and we also see total value locked. So a chain with money is also a chain where builders might want to be. So I think it would make sense that yes, it would create more activity on the chain. And as a side effect also, I think that integration with the Crypto.com app could be a good reason for people to make the leap, even though that Crypto.com isn't yet, or Cronos isn't yet the most active. I think the, how do you say that? The carrot really, the carrot of being integrated within Crypto.com could be a great reason to move over to Cronos. Let's see though. Peter, welcome. Pro's gonna fill the wig? I don't think so, sir. I think 7 cents was truly manipulation. Peter's talking about 92k CME. We talked about that a bit earlier. I think it's a good argument you make there. But one issue about the CME gap. A typical CME gap touch happens within 3 weeks. 3 weeks after it being created. This has been more than 3 months. And just to prove my point, we have a CME gap. Where is it? Over here. No, not exactly where. Somewhere very low. Ah, here it is. We have a CME gap over here. We never went back. We never went back to completely fill it. At about 11k. I think maybe somewhere else also. So is it definitely a given that we are going to retest 13k because we have a CME gap? Well, I don't think that anyone currently is still believing that we might... Oh, also here we have one at about 25k. I think we filled it eventually, right? We filled it eventually. But that was a bear market. If my thesis is right, of course, and that's also not a given. We won't visit it yet. Because we're not yet in a bear market. But, for example, that one, about 12k, we never went below 15k anymore, I believe. Yeah, that was still low. The thing was, the bears, back then, the bears were also screaming for Bitcoin to hit 13k because we had a CME gap over there. But yeah, we never went there eventually. And some people, like, for example, the Italian guy, I lost the name. No, not Papi. He still believes we go back to 13k, but that's definitely not my belief. Let's see quickly though how Bitcoin is actually making a good bounce so far. Interesting. So maybe we are creating a bit of a higher low. I can also live with that, but let's see. Typically we go back down and retest completely, but also sometimes these W setups are a bit crooked. So you have a bit like, yeah, this is still a potential thing. Let's see though. Is the music also gone? Dayton, a lot of CRO news to come in Q4. I'm still excited for CRO, but when will we see some announcements? Plenty of CDC and partnership. That's something really about building the company. It's also important, of course, I believe at least. We need to truly also build sustainable revenue models for the company, otherwise they also cannot monetarily support Cronos. Because let's be real, if you want to give all these rewards, you also need to have sustainable marketing budget. And that's, you can only get that if you have revenue sources. Hey, what's up, Mr. Sage? Still, guys, the chat is gone, so I need to check what... Oh, the chat is back. Chat is back. I own a lot of CRO, but I don't trust the way CDC is running the company at the moment. Not a clear direction and not a lot of changes, not all the good ones. Just wondering, Peter, why do you then still hold on to the token? Just a straight question here. Also, if I'm just looking at the company right now, they are going in two very straight directions. So it's actually prediction markets. They're going very big on prediction markets also. And yeah, the treasury play. They are going integrated. They're integrating now into many institutional layers. It's actually quite interesting to see. You might see CRO burn, but then 2 years later we need the coins we need the coins. Oh, you talk about 2021. Yeah. The cool thing though is now we have an actual hard cap built in on the chain. So that is interesting. Make is welcome. Time to buy more CRO. Let's make CRO great again. Jimalo. What's up? How are you feeling, Jimalo? I think I saw a comment from you, like feeling very like bad. How's life now? I think we're bouncing, guys. I think we're bouncing for Bitcoin. And that's a good sign. That might mean that the bulls are back in time. Let's see, though. What about DOF coin? I don't know that one, sir. What's the Ryanair boarding sound? My technical issues aren't that bad, are they? Oh, you bought some more. I'm sorry. I might have been confusing you with somebody else. You bought some more at 13 cents. I was talking in the Discord, guys. Link is in the description down below. And I had a few people in the Discord. They told me like, hey, I bought CRO at 11.212 cents. They ended up buying the literal bottom over here. 11.212. That was actually, those were some crazy buys. But yeah, also only for a very short amount of time. The way also how it bounced up again, I think that shows some strength. And also, we talked about this earlier in the stream, but I think that where Bitcoin dominance is now, it's at a very healthy point to make a reversal. But in order for an altcoin reversal, we need Bitcoin to also continue to bounce. So it needs to truly break the upside once more. And I do believe that once Bitcoin makes a break up, since altcoins already had the move down, I think they can easily, go up higher than Bitcoin at a higher space, and therefore also Bitcoin dominance can drop. I think the total setup makes sense, right? Take a look at ETH. Ethereum here, guys, the second biggest cryptocurrency in the world. I would say it's now mega undervalued. It's so low. It should be, of course. I still think at this exact moment in time, I think Ethereum should be around $4,000. And I think when Bitcoin shows a little bit of strength, we talked about 116 again as a potential point of reversal. It could fly. It's honestly so crazy. And of course, when Ethereum starts making moves, well, altcoins also pay attention to that. Totally sick of hearing about Zcash. Awesome for long-term holders, but buying now doesn't make any sense. They've been going crazy. Of course, the thing is, Dayton, is that once something has momentum, it's hard to stop it. But then I also want to show you the Solana chart and XRP. So XRP, for example, great momentum, but at some point, momentum also stops. So Solana, great momentum and stops. Kind of started flatlining. So XRP. XRP is actually looking quite crazy. Yeah, same thing here. Like it has momentum, and at some point it reached kind of like a hard limit, and then it starts having a hard time moving up even higher. It can, of course, but this is definitely struggle. Peter, I'm Dutch. If you want, you can also explain in Dutch. I'm of course also Dutch, so... Goedenavond. Ik hoop dat je geen Ajax-fan bent, want die hebben het moeilijk momenteel. Was gisteren in de arena. Anyways, let's talk about this quickly. I have a big bag of CRO, and I bought at about 6 cents on average. That's why I still hold the coin, because I'm not underwater. But the unburn just lost my trust in the promises that were made in the beginning of the program. I also have a big average at about 6, so I understand where you're coming from. You're also still in profit, which is, by the way, very nice. The only thing I can say, like, I understand, like, the trust issues. The only thing I would say as a counter argument is that, like, the trust is, by the way, very important in crypto. So I don't want to downplay that. But when I saw the announcement, I was also shocked, of course. But if you take a look at the tokenomics, like what is happening with the tokens, they're not really entering the market this cycle. So I'm definitely going to also offload. I'm going to offload, guys. I will keep on to Moonbag. I will keep on to Moonbag of CRO. And the rest I will sell. That easy, because I do know bear markets are especially painful for altcoins. That's how it is. We're not there yet, in my opinion, though. That's definitely my personal opinion. So let's quickly go back, by the way, to Bitcoin here in the main wall. It's so for a good bounce. I like this. It's creating that higher low. I didn't expect it really, but yeah, it's a bit of a higher low. We're not out of the boots, of course, yeah, but it's showing strength and higher strength, so people are not even counting on it to go towards $100,000 anymore. But what we're talking about? Oh yeah, so I do expect, like, fundamentally we should be heading into higher price territories. What happens after that, though, I don't know, and I will have to wait and see. And the good thing, guys, is that typically, I don't know if it's a 4 or a 5 year cycle. The good thing is that, let's say it's a 5 year cycle. We're topping about like the middle of 2026, potentially, right? You can sell for cash and buy Bitcoin, and when we have had the majority of altcoin of CRO releases, we can take it. We can make a new decision, of course. How are the markets reacting to the new released CRO? Are there any issues? But for this year, I don't think it's truly any issue yet. I have 5 to 6 million CRO, and I'm waiting to sell it all. It's my worst investment so far. We'll sell it all at once and never look back on it. Make your exit strategy, sir, because this is not how it typically works. You sell it all typically also at, like, how do you say that? At multiple levels, you tear it off. Ajax-fan? Oei, oei, oei. Hij gaat weg, dus komt goed. Actually, I think your English is quite good indeed. I understand all of it. Even zo door, normaal zit ik ook in de arena, maar dit seizoen liep het even. Good thing for you, Peter. So what we're talking about, guys, so Peter is a fan of Ajax. It's typically the biggest club of the Netherlands, but this season has been like the worst in history. Not the worst. I think 2 seasons back, they were literally at the last place. But it's not like a good season so far. Hey, Skywalker, good to see you, man. Good to see you, sir. By the way, guys, CRO is definitely not my worst investment ever. Definitely not. And I think, honestly, like, it's hard that CRO can be your worst investment ever. Like, let's be honest. CRO is up about 2x from the lows. That's pretty good, isn't it? Let's see though, guys, it's exactly been 1 hour. We had some technical issues, of course, so let's see. Let's answer a few more questions. Don't forget to hit the like button though. Yeah, it was Cliff actually that did the gifts. So Cliff is absolutely great. He isn't here, unfortunately, so if you see him again, don't forget to thank him as well. Well, you're going to unload your CRO. Makes sense though. Hard for holders to sell sometimes. The fear of it pumping after you sell. Yeah, I mean, it's okay, right? I mean, you can make more decisions as we go. I've always said this, right? I've always said at some point I'm going to sell my CRO because why not? I mean, you know, you also want to have a good life, enjoy life. I don't sell though at 40 cents. I truly think that 40 cents, if you sell your CRO at 40 cents, at this point in time, it might look like a great idea. But I think like looking forward in about, like, let's say a year, I think looking back, 40 cents would have been a steal. But again, that's no financial advice. So far, guys, I want to say a few final words. It is looking quite good. It's looking quite good so far for Bitcoin. It is bouncing. It is bouncing here at about 100,000. And now it's bouncing at about 100,001. So looking good. I think we might see soon again that Bitcoin might revisit the 50 week. The 50 week, guys, will be the most important thing to watch, which is here the orange line. This upcoming Sunday, we'll have the weekly close. And basically, we need to be at about 103. 103 or 102.9. If we're about there, I am very happy with where we are in the cycle. Yeah, typical minus 30% drop. Just completed. Good retest here. Grab liquidity and we go up again. Let's see though, guys. We'll know more Sunday. So don't forget to tune in Sunday. Strap in for that one. Don't forget to hit the like button. Next week, the community, the Dutch community, will be at Bitcoin Amsterdam. So don't forget to join if you want to. Join the Discord for more information. No midweek update, but we do have on Sunday, next week Sunday, the weekly close. And if you're getting bored, we also do have those X spaces happening every Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. UTC. You don't know what I'm talking about? 3 p.m. UTC. You can follow me at CoinBaron. You can see here, live on X, the CrowFam Connect spaces. Every Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. UTC. Come have a talk if you want to. It is English though, so be prepared. Anything else? Let's hope this is going to end, guys. Maybe soon we'll finally have the words shutdown is ending. Have a good one. Guys, enjoy. Bye.